Good morning, dear students, and welcome back in our video lecture with the same topic fiber to fabric. So, we have completed our wool fiber, and now we will study about silk fiber, the soft, smooth, and lustrous silk fiber. Let's study about silk fiber. Before that, I want to tell you story of discovery of silk. There was a Chinese emperor named Huang Ti, and he asked his empress to find the cause of the damaged leaves of mulberry trees growing in their garden. So they had mulberry trees in their garden and their leaves were damaged. So he asked her empress named Si Long Chi to find the cause of damaged leaves. The empress found some white worms eating up mulberry leaves and accidentally a cocoon which was present on that mulberry tree dropped into her cup of tea because she was drinking tea at that time. And as soon as a cocoon dropped into her cup of tea, uh, then threads separated from the cocoon. After that, she found out that this is a very soft, smooth, and lustrous fiber which we can obtain from these cocoons. So this is how silk industry began in China, and it was kept as a secret for hundreds of years. Later on, traders and travelers introduced silk to other countries. The route they traveled is called as Silk Route. In this way, silk was discovered in China, and the Chinese managed to keep silk a secret for thousands of years. Yes, they didn't let anyone to know how they are getting this silk fabric. Why? Because they were earning a lot of money. There was a huge demand of silk in the world, and they were earning a lot of money by selling silk. So they didn't let anyone to know about silk fiber. That how they were getting it. So no one actually knows that how silk came out of China. There are many stories related to silk. One story says that in 300 AD, a Japanese group went to China and somehow they succeeded in taking some silkworm eggs and four young Chinese girls to Japan. And this is how silk reached Japan. Similarly, in 550 AD, two monks from the Byzantine Empire managed to smuggle some silkworms' eggs out of the country. They hid the eggs inside of their bamboo walking sticks. It is also said that silk was brought to India by Chinese princess who hid eggs and mulberry seeds in the lining of her headdress, and this is how silk reached India. This was interesting, right? So now we will study in detail about silk. Let's start. So the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture or silk farming. What is mean by rearing? In my previous video lecture, we have discussed about rearing. Rearing means taking care of silkworms, feeding them. Why? Because ultimately you will get silk from them. So, the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture or silk farming. China leads the world in the silk production. India is the second leading silk producing country. In India, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and Jammu Kashmir are the largest silk producing states. Let's move forward. In silk, we have to study two important things: rearing of silkworm and processing of silk. In this video lecture, we are going to study only about rearing of silkworm. First, we will discuss rearing of silkworm. In this, we have to study how these silk moths get converted into cocoon. So, in this picture, you can see here, this is silk moth. It gives hundreds of eggs at a time. Then these eggs will hatch and caterpillar or worms will appear. Then what happen? These silkworms eat mulberry leaves, means they will eat continuously day and night for 25 to 30 days. They just continuous, these worms continuously eat that mulberry leaves. Then it grows in size and weaves a net, no, net to hold itself. Then it swings its head from side to side in the form of number 8. During this movement, of head, it secretes fiber and completely covers itself. This covering is known as cocoon, and the caterpillar, which is converted or which get covered by this spin into pupa. So what I said, this covering is known as cocoon. The caterpillar is covered. They're just converted into pupa stage. They will rest in cocoon for hardly means nearly 2 to 3 weeks. After that, they will burst open this cocoon and moth will appear from cocoon. So when we are talking about life cycle of silkworm, following points are important. Silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. These eggs are just stored and sold to farmers. Then what farmer will do? Farmers keep eggs in suitable temperature and humidity. When new leaves will appear in mulberry trees, these eggs are heated. When these eggs are heated, they will hatch into silkworm. Silkworm will feed day and night on mulberry leaves for 25 to 30 days. After that, caterpillars stop eating. They spin net around them to enter pupa stage. Fibers, just these fibers are made up of proteins. When these fibers exposed to air, these fibers becomes hard. This fiber harden and becomes silk fiber. Silk moth develop inside cocoon. Then after 2 to 3 weeks, this silk moth comes out. Adults, in this way, the life cycle of this silkworm consists of 4 stages. Adult means silk moth. Then silk moth gives eggs. After that, a larva or caterpillar stage. After that, pupa stage. And from pupa again adult will appear. There are variety of silk moth, and these silk moths yield fibers of different textures. Coarse, smooth, shiny. So we get different varieties of silk like mulberry silk, tussar silk, moga silk, then kosa silk, eri silk, and out of this silk, mulberry silk is quite popular. So today we have discussed about rearing of silk. So we will discuss processing of silk in our next video lecture. If you have any doubt related to rearing of silk, you can ask me. Thank you.